The Geneva Convention of 1925 banned the use of germ warfare. Japanese officials were impressed. If germ warfare was so awful that it must be banned under international law, it followed that germ warfare must be an awesomely powerful weapon. Japan's biological weapons program was born near the city of Harbin in the Japanese puppet state of Manchukuo. The special organization charged with weaponizing biology was called Unit 731, run by an Army medical officer named Shiro Ishii. Unit 731 was supposedly engaged in water purification, but Ishii built a huge compound of more than 150 buildings where secret research on germ warfare was carried out. Ishii field-tested bubonic plague, cholera, and anthrax. Victims were taken to a proving ground called Anda, where they were tied to stakes and bombarded with test weapons. Planes sprayed the zone with a plague culture or dropped bombs with plague-infested fleas to see how many people would die. Tests were first done on Chinese prisoners of war, then operationally on battlefields, and finally against civilians in Chinese cities. The results were spectacular. Tens of thousands died. Ishii stood 6 feet tall, far above the height of the average Japanese man. He was intelligent, well-groomed, and had a commanding voice. Ishii constructed dormitories for the Japanese residents within his state-of-the-art Pingfang research facility. In addition, there was a 1,000-seat auditorium. During the last months of World War II, the Japanese High Command conceived of a plan called Operation Cherry Blossoms at Night. The plan called for the use of submarine-launched airplanes to spread plague over San Diego and Southern California. Japan had at least 3 long-range submarines that carried 2 or 3 planes each, their wings folded against the fuselage like a bird. Japan was the only country in World War II that had the capability to launch submarine-based aircraft. The long-range I-400 class submarine was the brainchild of Admiral Hiroshiko Yamamoto. Originally, 18 aircraft-carrying submarines were to be built. As the war progressed, the number was reduced to 9, then to 5, and finally to 3. The Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum has restored the last surviving Japanese aircraft to have been launched from a submarine during World War II. Missions contemplated included bombing American coastal cities and attacking the Panama Canal. The plan to launch biological weapons against the mainland United States was finalized on March 26, 1945, with the attack set to take place on September 22, 1945. The plan was to launch aircraft from the I-400 submarines over Southern California at night, which would then drop infected flea bombs in the hope that the resulting infection would spread to the entire West Coast and killed tens of thousands of people. This was a close-run thing. The United States dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, and Nagasaki on August the 9th, 1945. Japan surrendered on August the 15th, 1945. Shiro Ishii, responsible for the deaths of hundreds of thousands of Chinese soldiers and civilians, was never prosecuted for his war crimes. Ishii was allowed to live peacefully until his death from throat cancer in 1959, after having struck a deal with the United States to turn over top-secret data on Japan's biological warfare program to the American military.